if you catch yourself replaying the same thoughts over and over, my name is Tuva. I'm a somatic alignment coach, and I will teach you what you can do instead. Because when you are stuck in a mental loop, your body is not in logic, it is in survival. And overthinking is not about having too many thoughts, it is about having too much energy that is trapped in the system. Energy that never got to complete, energy that is looking for safety through control. And what most people miss here is that overthinking is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that your body doesn't feel safe enough to rest. And I used to be an overthinker. And I used to lie awake at night with the constant hum in my head, multiply every conversation, every decision, every word I said was looping like a background noise. And I would sit there and I would ask myself, why can't I just let it go? And it wasn't until later that I learned what was really happening. My body was not ready to let go because my body did not feel safe. And Bessel van der Kolk, he writes in The Body Keeps the Score that the body remembers what the mind forgets. That is exactly what overthinking is. It is your body remembering. It is the nervous system trying to process unintegrated stress, but the mind hijacks that process. The mind thinks that it can solve what the body needs to feel. It can't. We live in a culture that glorifies this mind. I know that. And this culture tells you the answer is always in clarity, strategy, mindset. But clarity doesn't come from thinking harder, it comes from regulation. When your body feels safe, your mind naturally quiets. When your body is in danger, your mind races because it is trying to protect you. So the next time you find yourself spiraling, remember that your mind is not the enemy. It's just doing what it was wired to do. And it's wired to keep you safe. So the problem is not the thought. The problem is the state you are in when the thought appears. So let us dive a little bit deeper into the biology of this. So when you perceive a threat, and that doesn't have to be a lion coming towards you. A threat can mean almost anything to your nervous system. An unread message, an ambiguous tone, not being chosen, uncertainty about the future. So when that happens, the amygdala, your emotional alarm system, that activates and it signals to your hypothalamus and adrenal glands to release cortisol and adrenaline. So your heart rate increases, your breath becomes shallow, and your pupils dilate. So now you are in a sympathetic nervous system state, fight, flight, or freeze. And while your mind might think the danger is, what if I what if I said the wrong thing? Your body doesn't distinguish between that and a tiger in the wild. And as Debdana explains in polyvagal theory in therapy, the nervous system doesn't care about the content of your thoughts. It only responds to cues of safety or danger. So, what happens? Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that is responsible for executive function and logic and decision making, that goes offline. And meanwhile, your limbic system, the emotional part of your brain, takes control. And this is why, no matter how hard you try to think positive or be rational, it's not gonna work. You can't access logic from a survival state. Your mind is like a computer. It needs the body to supply the electricity. And that is why you forget what to say in an argument, why you replay scenarios endlessly, and why you cannot focus on work when you are anxious. Because your system is not designed to create when it doesn't feel safe. It is designed to protect. Elisa Bellman Barrett, a woman who researches emotional neuroscience, she writes that emotions aren't just feelings, they're predictions your brain makes about safety. And when your body has a backlog of unprocessed energy, like trauma, stress, and suppressed emotions, your brain keeps predicting danger even when none is present. So, overthinking is not a mental weakness, it is the body trying to get your attention. It is saying, I still don't feel safe. So, let that change how you relate to your thoughts. They are not problems to fix, they are signals to interpret. And why so many of us stay stuck in that spiral, even when we quote unquote know better, we are using mindset tools to solve body problems. We're using affirmation, journaling, reframing, and they all work beautifully when the body feels sick. But if your nervous system is in fight or flight, those tools can actually increase resistance. It is what psychologist Dr. Ariel Swartz calls spiritual bypassing through self help. You end up trying to think your way out of a dysregulated state when what your system needs is to complete the stress cycle. And this is why just relax never works, because you cannot relax your way out of a state your body hasn't finished processing. And Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this so beautifully in Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. He says that you cannot create a new future while your body is living in the past. When the nervous system is stuck in hyperarousal, you're not living in the present moment. You're living in an old pattern of survival that your body hasn't updated yet. So every time something reminds you of uncertainty, your system replaces the same old loop over and over and over again. And it is not that you are overreacting, it is that your body still thinks it is protecting you from something long gone. And that is why the first step is not change your thoughts, it is change your state. You don't think your way into calm, you feel your way there. The nervous system doesn't respond to language, it responds to rhythm. So the rhythm to your breath, to your tone, to your movements. And that is why slow exhalations, tapping, or humming works so much better than any affirmation, because they speak the language of safety. And I'm thinking we're gonna do this together. So if it feels safe for you, you can sit or stand wherever you are. And if you're watching this work, it's okay. Just soften your gaze a little bit. You don't need to close your eyes fully. But if it feels safe, you can allow your eyes to shut. And first, just notice your body. Feel it. Where's where's tension sitting? Do you feel any tension in the chest? Do you feel any in the jaw? In the stomach? Now take a slow inhale through your nose for 4 counts. And open your mouth and exhale slowly for 6 counts. Do that again. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Open mouth and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just notice. You can place a hand on your chest. Start to feel into your heartbeat. That rhythm is the oldest sound your body knows. You existed to that sound before you ever had a thought. Now, you can just start tapping gently over your heart. Notice. Let the breath just move in and out naturally. Slow and deep inhale, slow and deep exhale. And just tap. Nothing fancy, not too hard. And feel the skin. Feel the texture. Feel the rhythm. And as you tap, quietly repeat to yourself or self out loud. It is safe to slow down. I don't need to figure it out right now. You might notice resistance. A part of you might say, no, it is not safe. That is okay. Feel it. Be with it. Breathe with it. You're not trying to convince that part. You're co-regulating with it. And keep tapping, breathing, and softening. Now, we're going to add one more layer. We're going to add in a little bit of movement. So if you can rise up, standing, and start to roll up back your shoulders. You can still keep your eyes closed if it feels safe for you, or keep a soft gaze. And shake out your hands. Just shake, shake, shake. And breathe. And let out a sigh. And the kind of sigh that releases sound, like and you can literally hum or you can sigh. It will stimulate your vagus nerves. So you can hum like And as you move, imagine that energy you have been holding finally has permission to leave. The unfinished conversation, the worry, the what if, and just let it exit through your breath, through your movements. Because overthinking is often just under movement. So let it out. Stay with your body. Keep breathing. And when you feel ready, pause. Find stillness. Do you feel that? Do you feel that small quiet in your chest? That is the nervous system just coming home. And I want to be transparent about what has worked for me personally. For years, I treated healing like a checklist. I would wake up and I would do my peace routine. I would sit down and I would meditate. I would write in my journal and I would do visualization, meditation, or manifestation, something that I could go and get after. And by 8 a.m., I had already failed because my body still felt off. And what I did was that I didn't really change the tools, but I changed the intention. So, what it looked like later for me than in real life and now is that when I do breath work, I don't do it as a task, but as a reset. And I tune in and I feel, do I need to do a 6 count exhale that supports me getting into rest or digest state, or do I focus on my inhales? And if I walk, I try to do without stimulation, no phone, no agenda, just noticing sounds and colors. And I do a few minutes of EFT tapping every evening when my mind is busy, and that really helped me bridge the body mind gap. And then I've been implementing somatic journaling. And instead of writing about like why do I feel this way, I would write where in my body do I feel it? And then I breathe into that. And one thing I do is I always lie on the floor. And it sounds a bit silly, but it changed everything. When you let your body just be fully supported, it teaches you that you don't need to hold it all the time to be supported. You can let go. And over time, my system started to trust stillness again. And that trust changed very much. And the science supports all of this as well. And there's this man called Dr. Stephen Porges. He developed polyvagal theory, and he explains that our nervous system isn't built for constant alertness. It is built for co-regulation and safe connection. And when you regulate through your body, you teach your vagus nerve that it is safe to rest. And when that happens, your mind finally exhales. And I began to realize that calm isn't something you achieve, it is something you allow. So the next time you catch yourself just spiraling, instead of asking, how do I stop thinking this? Ask, what does my body need right now? Because your body comes before your mind does, and not the other way around. And this is the essence of somatic healing. You don't have to think less, but you have to feel more safety. You have to allow that safety come into your life and kind of navigate what feels safe for you and what can you do to feel safe. So don't just focus on erasing thoughts. Try to ground them into sensation so they can pass through. And I hope you leave this video not with just a new another technique, but you leave it with a new respect for your body. Your body is not the obstacle to your healing. Your body is the access point to it. And the next time your mind spirals, instead of chasing thoughts, find your breath. And it's easier said than done, maybe, but try and feel your feet, touch your chest, let yourself be here. Safety is not found in the future nor in the past, it is remembered in the present moment. And when you learn to trust that, clarity isn't something you change anymore, Clarity will be something that rises naturally in that stillness. Thank you so much for being here and watching this video, for breathing with me and trying a new technique, and for remembering that your body knows the way home. And until next time, stay aligned, stay curious, and most important of all, stay true to yourself.